Welcome to Learn and Go Go, the podcast. Hey guys, it is Sydney A. I am your host, and I am the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go Go: How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. And I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight. I see Mortimer and Lizzie are already on here. I love you guys. You are the best, and I appreciate that you are always showing up to support. You are amazing, and I love you both so much. It is Wednesday night, and it is the holiday season. It is a virus and threat protection thing for my computer. Sorry about that. So I wanted to hop on here because the way that the holidays fell this year, it just makes sense to take the next couple weeks off because it's going to be Christmas, it's going to be New Year's, and I want to be fresh for you guys in 2025, which saying 2025 out loud is honestly really concerning. Does anybody else think it's strange that we're almost in 2025? Like, how the hell did that happen already? That is crazy. But it is holiday season, and I would love to hear from you guys what you do to celebrate. It doesn't have to be Christmas. That might not be what you celebrate. If it's Hanukkah, if it's Yule, if it's Kwanzaa, if it's December 25th and I don't celebrate anything, that's cool too. It's whatever you are up to, whatever you believe in, that is important that you take the time to celebrate that. I'm actually like, it's funny, every week I'm so tired. And then I'm like, I get on here and I'm so excited to be with you guys. And it's like absolutely, a boost of endorphins and adrenaline to get on here with you guys. I love you guys. Murderer said, as long as it's not 25-25, I'm good. Yeah, I think we would all be piles of dust by then, but who knows? With advancements in science, maybe we'll all be around in 25-25. That would be terrifying. We might all look like the old lady in SpongeBob that's just like a spine with the head going chocolate, But as long as we're all there together, that would be fine. This week has been super fun. Just like catching up with people that they finished up the filming of The Red Huntress this past weekend. So that is absolutely exciting. And I cannot wait to see episode 2 when it comes out. And I had a really, really good time Saturday doing the goddamn program. So thank you to everybody that was hopping on that. That was the season finale of that. So that was fun too. Always happy to see you guys over there because that show's a little bit naughtier than what I do on here on Wednesday nights. I'm looking forward to my nephew, he's my godson, coming to stay with us on New Year's Eve. And he's from New Zealand. And I'm just so freaking excited to spend time with him and like get to go do some fun stuff. It's going to be amazing because the last time that I saw him was 8 years ago and he was 5. So completely different things that we can do, like places that we can take him. It's a completely different demographic from kindergartner to middle schooler. You can do some different stuff. So very much looking forward to that. And if you guys have plans for finishing out 2024, like things that you want to get accomplished in the next couple of weeks, pop them in the comments. Let's see what your plans are for the next couple of weeks, because we all start the new year out with our list of goals, right? This year, I'm going to fill in the blank. And I accomplished a lot this year, especially considering that this time last year, I had never been on a podcast, let alone had one. I hadn't been in a movie, and this year between being an extra and having roles, I think I did six or seven. Um, and the boudoir photography did start last year, but I continued that this year, which was really exciting. And I've been just like so happily busy with projects and things that were not even on my radar a year ago today. So, what is something that you've accomplished in 2024? And let's all celebrate each other. So, pop it in the comments. Yes. And Lizzie said, "Oops, wrong one. 13 years old, huh? Scary. Yeah. Teenage boy. It's going to be interesting because my kids are older now, but we went through, the teen years with three of them, and we all lived to tell about it. So I'm not scared. It's going to be fun." Um, and Mortimer said, "Filming Beware the Devil's Wrath." That's such a badass title. I love that. Hey, Kyler. Hey, beautiful people. I am so glad you're here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for hopping on here. That is awesome. It is always great to see you, and I hope that your Wednesday is fantastic so far. I mean, it's hump day, so you got to have a good day. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think, like, I like to sit down and write out my goals, and for some reason, putting them in a tangible sense gives them a little bit more weight. So, is that something that you guys like to do? Do you plan out things, or do you just kind of like ride by the seat of your pants? Like see what happens. I kind of do both actually, because I have an idea of what I want to accomplish, and then the universe is like, "You thought," and then it turns into fly by the seat of my pants because something completely unexpected will happen. And I'm here for it. So, oh, Skylar says, "I'm just happy I lived another year, LOL." I'm happy you did too. And keep it up, please. So that's awesome. Um, my train just crashed. Did you see that? What was I talking about? Oh, writing down goals. I actually do give some kind of, some guidance on goal setting in my book. I have a planner. Actually, it's an 8 by 10. Hold on, let me turn off my Facebook because it's dingy dinging. I like to get my new planner every year, and it's just like fresh. It's like when you get a fresh notebook and there's nothing in it yet. Just I love that. And the ones that I use, they're from Tools for Wisdom. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get a kickback, but um, they have daily, they have weekly, they have monthly ways to plan out, and then they have stickers because stickers are fun. I like stickers. I grew up in the sticker book era, so I remember collecting stickers, so maybe that's why I like them. It's the nostalgia of having a sticker book when I was little. But I do like to, have a place to keep everything organized. Now, that being said, I can block out my day and it may not go that way, but at least if I accomplish most of the things that I set out to do, I feel like it's a winning day. So that works for me. I also have the master paper calendar on the refrigerator that everybody has to write their stuff on so that we all know what to expect because it gets busy with everybody need to be different places at different times and making sure somebody's here to let the dogs out, stuff like that. So that helps as well. But going into the new year, I'm gonna have my planner. That works for me. But there's other things that kind of I think I need to tweak a little bit. So that's why tonight I'm putting this out. I'm streaming it on my Learn and Go Go page, my Learn and Go Go YouTube, but also my Sydney page because I think I'm not 100% on this yet. I think I want to condense the Learn and Go Go page and the Sydney page because I just have too many freaking social media accounts. And it's getting to be too overwhelming. So that's something that I'm going to cut out in theory. Like I said, I haven't change can be scary. I haven't committed to that yet, but I'm thinking about in the new year combining the Sydney and Learn and Go pages so that I have less things to juggle. And it's easier to find me because some things are in one spot and some things are in another spot. So I want to make it as easy as possible. Let's see what you guys got going on in here. You're young, my brother. Enjoy your youth. You end up dusty like old Mortimer here. Dude, and Skull said, I really do. And Lizzie said, I used to write goals, but then I feel extra losery if I don't reach them. I get that. But it's kind of like, if I knock off a couple, score, And the other thing is don't go crazy and write down like 30 goals. Like do 5. And then it's not as overwhelming. And then it's like, oh yeah, I was going to do that rather than that. Because then you look at that and you're like, forget that noise, and you turn around and walk away. My best friend once told me to do a to-do list of 3 things, no more. And then when they're done, then you can add another one to it. But if you start making these tremendous lists, then it gets too overwhelming and you don't do any of it. So at least if it's 3 things, and she's like, you're not allowed to do the dishes, the laundry, the stuff you do every day. Three things outside of the regular box to get accomplished. And that absolutely helps. Hey, Little Projects is here. You talking New Year's resolution? Not specifically, but I guess with a different title. I didn't call it a resolution, but I was just saying different things to tackle in the new year, and what you've completed this year that you're proud of is what we're talking about so far. Because I was saying that, I have my planners. I love my planner. And I'm going to continue to do that, but then I might try and scale down my social media by combining my Sydney page and my Learned and Go page just to Sydney, because that's what my Instagram's attached to. So when I do my positive affirmation in the morning, it's on my Sydney page, and my Learned and Go page is pretty much just for this podcast. So why not move it to Sydney? Why not do them both there? Whoops. I completed a year of learning Espanol. Oh, muy bien. That's awesome. I took 5 years of Spanish in school, and I can curse and I can count, and I know how to say, ¿Dónde está el baño? Which is important. But I should probably know more after that. And Color says, my therapist says, don't bingo what happened in 2024 into 2025. Don't bingo it, like put new things on your bingo card? I'm not sure what you mean by that, sweetie. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Don't bingo what happened in 2020. Like, don't take credit for, don't bring 2024 into 20. Okay. I was all like, oh, are we making new bingo cards with new goals? Because that's kind of cool. Yeah, don't bring what happened in 2024 into 2025. And that's important because while most of us would think, okay, that means don't bring anything negative from 2024 into 2025. What that also can mean is don't rest on your laurels from 2024 into 2025. Because yes, you accomplished those things. You should be proud of the things that you accomplished that you set out to. But don't just sit back and be like, well, I'm done now. I did that. No, you're going to go out and you're going to attack new shit in 2025. And you're going to accomplish new stuff, and it's going to be amazing. So let's see. Lunar Project says, I'm not fluent, but I've been practicing a year. That is fantastic. And Mortimer says, what I'm proud of. Wow, this will be a long answer. I love that. Yes, you have so much to be proud of. I'm proud of you, my friend. You are phenomenal. Lunar Project says, in 2020, I wrote every day for a year. Did you write a book, or do you mean just like writing in your journal? If you don't mind sharing, that is awesome. She said, this year I've been doing the year-long music challenge, which I have enjoyed thoroughly, my friends. I love seeing your different songs every day and your little descriptions of why you picked that song. It's really fascinating. I love it. Hey, Rebecca's here. Yay. Welcome, welcome. Lizzie says, attack! Rawr. That is awesome. Oh, and you're trying to gain access to your first Facebook profile. I'm sorry. It gets so hard. I got a, a friend request today from my fake dad. It was like my dad, but it wasn't him. It was a hacker. People need hobbies. I don't understand why so many people are making these fake profiles, and it gets exhausting. Like, how many times do we have to report stuff? And then you report things and they're like, oh, that doesn't violate our terms. Like, impersonating somebody does not violate your terms. I think that's a problem. Sorry, I'm choking on an ice cube. I hope you get your original profile back, because that's crap. And Mortimer says, acting in Curse of the Ghostwriter and Killer Cox. I made some awesome effects in it, and doing the horror barbecue is so fun. Awesome. You are so talented at the effects. Like, I love seeing all of the things that you come up with special effects. It's so killer. I love it, love it, love it. And Luna Project says, no, on Dexter's Daily Quotes blog for an entire year. Oh, okay. So you were writing on the blog. That is awesome. That is very cool. And she also, okay, you and Rebecca are both on Facebook, so you should be able to see each other. If you were saying hey and she was on YouTube, I wanted to make sure she saw you said hey. So that's cool. One thing I am disappointed in myself from this year was I started out doing these little stick figure cartoons every night that was finding joy every day. And I would do just a little stick figure cartoon of something that day that I really enjoyed, that made me smile, that made me laugh. And a couple months ago, I just kind of fell off from doing it. And I'm disappointed I didn't keep that going. But I did do my positive affirmation every day this year, and that was a carryover from 2023. So I believe it has been over a year that I've done them every morning. So I'm proud of myself for that, because there are some mornings where it's just freaking chaos, but I've still managed to get it in. And a couple days, it didn't happen until the afternoon, but it happened. And that's one thing that I say in the affirmations, is that we need to be firm in our goals, but flexible in our journeys, because sometimes you have this goal in mind and you're like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and it's going to happen. And it doesn't happen that way. And you think, well, I suck and I'm not going to get it. And that's not true, because maybe you had to, instead of going from point A to point B, you had to go over here a little bit and then back over here a little bit, and to get to your goal. Because doors don't open until we're ready to walk through them. And sometimes we don't have all of the knowledge or the skills that we need to reach that goal at that point. And that's why the universe throws us curveballs. So if you didn't reach certain goals this year, maybe you're just not ready to walk through that door yet, and you have some more learning to do. So don't take it as a loss. I always say, you succeed or you learn. There's no such thing as failure. If you didn't succeed this time, then you learn things to try it again next time. So let's see. Luna said, oh, yes. Mortimer says, voice acting has really taken off. And as next year starts, The Legend of Blood. I am so excited for The Legend of Bloody Bones. I can't wait. Let's see. Oh, Rebecca's still trying. I hope you can get in. And Luna says, this year I hope to draw and or paint more, not necessarily every day, but you never know. Even if it's like once a week, once a month, get that creativity flowing and try it in different mediums too. I have a project that I'm going to start once Santa visits and I get the technology I need to do it. So I'm very excited to start on my next book series. It's going to be a children's book series. So complete 180 from this cover for sure, but I need to learn how to digitally draw first. So it might take me a few years, but I'm going to work on it, and I'm super excited about it. So that is in my sights for next year. I want to make my book an audiobook. I keep saying that, and I'm not going to try to move my computer because I have 80,000 things hooked up to it, but sitting next to me is probably a 3-foot tall stack of soundproofing for this room. I have that. I have a bag full of stuff that I want to hang up, from the Tromathon poster. I have my Slaughter Beach poster. I have some artwork that I bought from some local artists. I have all kinds of stickers, all kinds of stuff to put up and make this like my space. Here comes Tom out of nowhere. I'm your first friend. No, but to make it more absolutely like the vibe. And because I haven't been able to dance because of my injury, this room has started to become the catch-all again, and I need to say, okay, paper towels and toilet paper need to get out of here. Like stuff like that, because you once it starts, it just grows and it multiplies. I'm sitting here, I'm like, there's a extra roaster pan we didn't use for Thanksgiving, just thrown in here because there's no other spot for it. Stuff like that has got to go. And I'm going to hopefully be able to work out again soon, because I miss that desperately, and get the soundproofing up and everything. All that to say, once it's a proper sound quality space, then I want to make the files for the audiobook, because I'm fairly certain I can do it myself from home. If anybody has any guidance, I am open and willing to learn, because like I said, most of the things that I do, I am totally building the plane while I'm flying it. I have no idea when I start out, and I'm just teachable and happy to learn as I'm going. So that would be cool. Mortimer says, you can add a lullaby by Mortimer Deadfellow to my room. I missed when the comment came up. So let's see. Make small goals to tackle with the room. 100%. First one is going to be get the stuff that doesn't belong in here out and find that a new home. Second one is going to be, I did get a poster made of this, so I can hang that on the wall in the background, and then I won't have the big, it's like a cloth backdrop, which is awesome. But when I do use this to dance, I have kicked it before and gotten caught up in the curtain and almost busted my ass. So if I can take that down and put it away until I need it for a book signing, if anybody would like to have me in their space signing and selling books, that would be phenomenal. But I don't need it up 24/7 if I have the poster. Yes, I need to Marie Kondo the room. If it's not giving me joy, it's got to go. So absolutely. And an audiobook or kids book. Yes, there you go. The first one has a very specific character set, but I am absolutely open to future projects. So 100%, that would be absolutely awesome, because you never know. We can make Mortimer kid friendly. There's all kinds of like spooky kid stuff. So I think that would be phenomenal. Yes, keep only what brings you joy. Exactly. And that's, I've got purple mini lights that I can put up. That would bring me joy, stuff like that. This room is full of all kinds of things. But yeah, there's, right now I have comforters all over the floor because I didn't have soundproofing. So that stuff, out with the old and in with the new, as they say. So I would definitely be attacking this room in the new year. Yes, make a plan to put up soundproofing. Yep, I have it. Day after Christmas is the plan. And the thing is, how you have to reverse engineer everything. So the goal is I want to put soundproofing up. Sounds easy enough, right? Yeah, because I also want to put shelves up, bring up my Funko Pops from down, like right now I have a fitness area downstairs, and that's where I do my positive affirmations every morning. So it's a mix right now of my pop culture stuff and my fitness stuff and everything. So I want to bring my pop culture stuff up here and keep my fitness stuff down there. So like my Lost Boys Funko Pops and all of my little Lokis and my Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff and all that, bring it up here. So I need to do the shelves first. Oh, see, great great minds, right? Do the shelves first, get them up, and then I can, even if I have to cut the soundproofing in half and put it in between and behind, put it in. But because there's so many things I want to hang on the wall, I want to do that and then work the soundproofing in between. It'll all work out. I got this. It's just making the time because all of my projects are phenomenal and I love them and I'm so grateful and excited to be part of them. Right now I have to do something for a friend of mine that I keep putting off because I need to tease out my hair and I can't lift my arm up over my head right now to do it. So I think I have a plan B, but I've been like pussing out on doing that because I want to do it perfect for them. Stuff like that, trying to make the time to do that and still have a job and still be mom and wife. And, just, I need to get organized and make the right time pockets to do all of that. And I can do it and I will do it. But, oh no, Lizzie, I need to make time tonight to fix the shower. With you two, I'm almost afraid to ask what happened to the shower. Oh no. I hope it does get fixed. And Lunar Project says, I'm good at organization. Awesome. I'm really good at helping other people get organized. Oh, yep. Oh, you must not have hopped on when I was talking about my planner earlier. I love the tools for wisdom planners and I use them. I was using them daily and then I kind of fell off the last month. Okay, you guys know I'm always 100% honest with you. My depression has been killer the last few weeks and that's been throwing a wrench into everything too. So I've gotten away from my journaling and my planner, which is part of how I keep on top of my depression, and it's all been spiraling, but I'm getting there. Crawling myself back out of the hole right now. So I need to get back to that because even if I sit down and I plan my day out and it doesn't go exactly the way that I planned it, I kind of feel like I have more control over my life because we at least have a plan, so I need to get back to doing that. When I do use those things, they do help. Absolutely. So, yeah, I have my 2025 planner. It's already been delivered from Amazon and Santa husband will be wrapping it and giving it to me for Christmas. So we're going to keep plowing ahead, and get that done. Lizzie says, nothing like that. Back of the shower head got worn and sprung a small leak. Okay. Gotcha. And Kyler was interested. His eyeballs, like, what's going on with that shower? Yeah, I should have asked Santa for a new shower head because ours, the part that you can adjust the pressure, because like with my stupid shoulder, I like putting it on like the super like pressure and blasting my shoulder with it. And the little, I don't know if it's a lever, whatever sticks out of it that you can use to do it broke off. So now we're stuck on the one setting, which completely first world problems, but I need to get to Lowe's or Home Depot and get a replacement one and fix it. So good luck fixing yours. And I hope that you don't get any stupid issues along the way and that it just happens the way that it's supposed to. And you can enjoy a leak-free shower head because you know what I'm saying. Okay. So Luna says I can use Alexa to keep me on top of things. I don't have Alexa. Am I like the last person in the country? I don't have any of like the little Alexa pods or I don't have any of that stuff. And honestly, it was because years ago with the whole, well, they're listening, well, the phone's listening, the computer's listening, my TVs listen, they're smart TVs. They listen to what we're talking about. The poor people that have to monitor me, they're either bored out of their head or they're like, what is wrong with this joke? But at least, I have less electronic things now. My kids have the like, what do you call it? They're the lights that you can say, turn them on and off and all that kind of stuff, but I don't have any of that. So I probably should get on board because I'm sure I'm missing out. Um, Kyler likes his max pressure. Absolutely. Exfoliation is important. So that's cool. Let's see. Um, okay. So if I'm using Alexa to keep up reminders, I could probably use, I'm going to spell it or she'll think I'm talking to her, SIRI for the same things because can't you set reminders through that with the iPhone? I would think. Maybe. Our shower head is a foot too short for me. I'm too tall. That sucks. I'm sorry. Can you get like the shower head that has the like it could, when I was in the hotel in New Orleans, the shower was really cool because it was one of those big like rain shower heads, but it also had an attachment that was the handheld and you could switch it from the big shower, like the big rain fall on you to the handheld. So maybe something like that, if it's not the ceiling that's too short, you could get. Yeah, Kyler says you have to bend down to shower correctly. And Mortimer says I have to do a back bend to wash my hair. That's terrible. What does Lizzie say? We don't have Alexa or anything like that either. Saw a video where a guy got suspicious of his Alexa randomly turning on and recorded it. He walked past it and it looked like it was off. And he said, Alexa, are you recording me? And it shut itself off. That's crazy. And Luna says that I could with SIRI. It's just easier with Alexa, I found. Okay. Yeah, it was funny. The first time I ever had any sort of experience with Alexa, I was staying in an Airbnb in Indianapolis. And the guy, the landlord was like, oh, and he had a tablet on the kitchen counter. And I was like, oh, do you need your tablet? And he's like, no, that's just Alexa. And I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about, how that works. And so he kind of gave me a quick rundown and we had to be up to do this super workout at but early o'clock. So I was like, hey, Alexa, I was like, play Revelry at 5 a.m. in all rooms. And so like 5 o'clock in the morning, I was like, oh my God, I thought everybody was going to kill me. But we all had to get up. So, you can get up mad, but you're still up. Roddy Piper taught us long ago about Alexa. It's called They Live. I have seen They Live. I have absolutely seen that. It's been a long time, but I've seen it. And that's why I'm very nice to my Roomba, so that when the robots take over, then Norbert, my Roomba, can speak to the robot overlords for me and tell them that I'm very nice and that I took care of him and not to kill me. Got to plan ahead because it's getting more and more scary how much we rely on technology. And whether it's you're checking out and kids can't count change, it's kind of like, how do you not know what that is, or they get confused when it's, a certain amount and I give them something so that I'll get change in like a $5 bill or a $10 bill. And they're just like, no, you don't have to give me. And I'm like, type it in and see what happens. It'll blow your minds. Things that we, my generation, grew up just memorizing isn't considered important anymore. And it's kind of like one day somebody's going to pull the plug and we're all fucked. We're all very reliant on it. And some of it is very helpful and is wonderful, but others of it is kind of like, maybe we shouldn't have so many smooth brains. Maybe we should be making those ripples and learning things and practicing things. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old geezer, so we'll see what happens. So what does everybody do for New Year's Eve? Do you have traditions? Do you go somewhere? Do you stay at home? Do you watch the ball drop in New York? Or do you not watch TV? How do you plan on ushering in 2025? What is on your agenda? I'm excited because my godson will be here, and we'll get to spend New Year's Eve together. We always watch the ball drop. That has been tradition on both sides of, mine and my husband's family for years and years and years. So we keep up that tradition, even if we don't put it on until right before the countdown, because sometimes it is just corny. But excuse me. But we definitely have to watch the ball drop for it to be New Year's Eve. My cousin's here. Hey, sweetie. I'm so glad you hopped on. Yay. Um, Black eyed peas for all the luck. Okay, I love that you said that because we do cabbage for money. I don't know if you do that too. I've never done the black eyed peas for luck, but I have heard of that. Um, when I was growing up, my mom always made cheesesteaks, which, in our house was steakum. That would never fly anymore. But growing up, it was steakum, and we'd have cheesesteaks. And when we were little, they would give us 7 Up with like cherries and cherry juice in it. And we thought we were so like hashtag schmancy with our schmancy little drinks. And we'd watch the ball drop. But because we had to have cabbage, we usually have coleslaw with the cheesesteaks. That's kind of like the tradition on New Year's. But I have heard of the black eyed peas for luck. Do you eat them? Because I have a friend who used to put them in his wallet, and that was the tradition. Like, I guess the dried ones, you wouldn't want to put like a canned black eyed pea squishing in your wallet. Mortimer said, I am compiling the list of songs. Oh, for your Christmas present from us, Sydney. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I love that. Linda says, I have to work on the first, so I don't know. I feel that. And my cuz says, I'm usually asleep by the time the new year comes in. I've had a couple of those too. They've had to wake me up on the couch to be like, okay, it's New Year's now. Lizzie says, I like cabbage and money. Hello. And that's the menu, Mortimer. I love that. I read money as Mr. Krabs. Like, I like money. Mortimer says, if I was a kid growing up with you, I would have loved it. Awesome. Yeah. With my kids, we would go and get the top hats and the headbands and the noisemakers and like the glasses that would say the year and everything. And it was so cute because we would get them the sparkling apple cider. And usually we would have our 2 nephews who live locally over as well. And they would have these contests to see who could drink the sparkling cider the fastest. They would be chugging it and then start, oh, I'm feeling really messed up. I'm like, it's cider, calm down. Like, we're not giving you booze, your children. But it was so funny how into it they would get. And like, we get the little plastic champagne flutes so that they could feel all very fancy for New Year's. And, the first few years, not everybody made it to midnight. I think my youngest like only started making it to midnight a few years ago. But it was always so much fun, like just hanging out. We played music and dance around and just have a really good time. And those are the memories that mean the most to me. Those are why holiday traditions mean something, is because of looking back and saying, I got to do this with the people that I love. And it doesn't matter so much what the tradition is, as long as it's giving you that happiness. That's the important part. So for me, it was definitely like New Year's Eve, I wanted to be home with the kids. I know some people love to go out. To me, there's just too many scary drunk people on the road. I want to be home and know where everybody is, excuse me, my sparkling water is getting me tonight. Sorry about that. But I love like just thinking back and like having pictures of the dogs, wearing the Happy New Year headbands, like stuff like that. Just silly things that make me smile. Mortimer says, the hint I give for your gift is you get to hear me sing. Okay, I'm excited. And you guys don't have to give me a gift. That is awesome. I'm super excited. I can't wait. Thank you. I love this. Angela says, this is my first New Year with Grant, so I'm curious to see what we do. Yay! I definitely prefer home. Me too. just because, like I said, there's always stories, and it's not everywhere, it's not everyone, but I just would rather stay home and get my drink on in my house. Hey, Keith. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're hopping on here too. We are talking New Year's Eve traditions. How do you like to bring in the new year? Do you like to go out? Do you like to stay home? Are you with friends? Are you with family? Are you in bed by 8 o'clock? So feel free to chime in. Lizzie says, as kids, we were allowed a half glass of wine for New Year's. My mom liked white wine, so it was a struggle finishing that half glass. It's funny, when I first tried wine, I always wanted white wine. Like, I thought red wine was too strong, that it was too much. Then I got older, and if I was going to have wine, I usually had red wine. I'm not a wine drinker at all anymore. We have so many bottles of wine in the house because we never drink them. But there's definitely, I know what you mean by that. There's some really tangy white wines that'll just suck all the moisture out of your head. So yeah, that must have been. But as a kid, it's like, oh, this is cool. We're getting to have some wine, so we don't want to waste it. But dang. Lunar Project says, definitely prefer to have home parties. Absolutely. And that's kind of, the way my husband and I are anyway. We're indoor cats. Like, we like to be home. We're happy to entertain. Like, we like to have people over, but we don't go out, concerts and stuff like that. But I don't think I've ever gone to a New Year's Eve event. I feel like I've gone to other people's houses and slept over there in my younger years. I'm sure I did when I was like in my early 20s. Although I may have had people over at my house because I was a certified bartender. So I always had the variety of things going on to drink. And if people were coming over, then your keys are staying with me and you're staying here, But I loved entertaining even back then, like being the one to come up with the different trays of food, and like, it's fun. That's fun to do. Back before charcuterie boards were the fad, and they were just, a veggie tray and a pepperoni and cheese tray. But that was fun. I did actually, I'm lying, because in 1995, I did go to Times Square in New York for the ball drop, to actually experience it in New York City. And it was so much fun. The people that we were in the crowd with, like, there's a million people. We weren't anywhere near where the ball was dropping because they just block off miles through Manhattan, and you all stand out there. But we were with like a really cool group of people and had a blast. We took the train in. So we left and everything, and we're like, oh, we're coming back next year. So New Year's 1996, we go back. The people around us were a nightmare. One guy just dropped his pants and starts peeing and spinning around in the middle of the crowd of people. I mean, it was a nightmare. And if that had been my first year, there wouldn't have been a second year. And because that was my second year, I have not done it since, and I have no desire to ever do it again. But I'm glad that I went in 95 because that was a fun year. And the group of people we were with in 96 were walking up the street, and the one guy said something, I don't even remember what, to somebody walking by. And I thought we were going to die. Like, I thought that guy was going to kill us. Like, it was a scary night. So I'm glad I had the 95 experience because the 96 one was definitely not a good one. So, but that's the thing, when you go out with crowds of people, it might have absolutely nothing to do with you. You may have a good experience or a bad experience because of the people that are surrounding you and that you just happen to be placed with in this giant crowd of people. So if you are going out, just be careful. Have a great time, of course, but be aware of who's around you and, make sure that you're staying safe. Hey, Leah's here. Hooray. Welcome, welcome. We are talking New Year's Eve plans. Do you have any traditions for New Year's Eve? We've been talking black-eyed peas for luck, cabbage for money. I feel like there's other New Year's Eve things. Let's see. What else? Like, For my crystal people, are there certain crystals that you should use around New Year's, like to bring in the new year with prosperity or um, happiness, stuff like that? I don't know if there's a New Year's tradition that has to do with crystals. Mortimer says, if we're in a shitty crowd, I will get a very angry look on my face and people back off. I believe that. You can get very intense faces, and I would absolutely back off if you shot me one of those looks, 100%. Um, yeah, so it's good to have that at your disposal. Like, I could probably make an angry face, but I don't think that it would have the same effect as yours for sure. Aaliyah is sleeping on New Year's. That's fair too. We were talking about that. Some years you don't make it to say Happy New Year at midnight. Who remembers the whole Y2K crap back then when everybody was convinced that the whole world was going to shut down? What was funny about that was I waited until it began and it got to be in one word. Until 2000 hit Australia. And I'm like, are they still good? Okay, we're good. Because they were the first ones to turn to the year 2000. And then, as it went across the globe, I'm like, everything is fine. But I knew one person who was convinced that the water would be undrinkable, there would be no power, there would be no. They had a complete stockpile of water, canned goods, all the, like the whole bunker basically. And I'm like, I really don't see that happening, And they were like, well, just because there's water doesn't mean you can drink it. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So I always wonder what they did with all that food and all that water and toilet paper and stuff. They might still be using it. Who knows? Let's see. Luna says, LOL, I do. I was working for an internet provider. Oh, I bet that was a nightmare for you with all of the panic. And she says, sounds like my uncle. It was funny because in our area, the only thing that was affected was slot machines. They reset because they didn't have the date didn't go up to 2000. And I'm like, I'm surprised that they have that even as a thing in a slot machine. It should be randomized, but yes. She said they saved it and sold it during COVID. You could have sold toilet paper to the highest bidder when that started. That was crazy. And I still don't understand why the toilet paper. That never made sense to me. I guess you use it to blow your nose, but COVID wasn't a stomach issue. So why? Anyway, let's see. Okay, Mortimer says when I'm Toxie, I'm 6'3.5". Normally I'm 6'2". And you grow when you're Toxie? Do you wear lifts in your shoes when you're Toxie? Or is it the mop? Oh, yes, and Aaliyah says apocalypse. Yeah. But at least, we're all coming out the other side of that. It's not completely gone yet, but it's definitely not the issue that it was. So hopefully in the upcoming years, we don't have anything like that to worry about. It'll just be the normal having to deal with stupid people. That's a pandemic that will never go away, unfortunately. But, that's another reason why I like to keep in my bubble with you guys. I love you guys. So I know when I'm hanging out and talking to you, I'm in my happy place. When I leave the house and people just, I don't know how you can walk with your head that far up your ass. How do you see where you're going? And that's an epidemic. Let's see. Mortimer says, my boots are done up with gunk and latex, so it added to the height. So happy accident. Nice. Aaliyah says, buy stock in Kimberly Clark. That's some sound advice for sure. And Lizzie says some idiots started a panic over supply chains before they even became a problem and it spread. It never had to be a problem and people made it one. Absolutely. And that is the downside of social media and the internet and being so connected to people is when people start a panic and then other people don't do their research and just reshare because now they're scared and then it just spreads. So I wish that happened with positivity. I don't understand why humans are wired the way that we are, that we can share panic and negativity like that. But if it's something happy, it's just like, you know. That's why I think because I've always been ornery. I think that's why I do my positive affirmation, and that's why I post jokes, and that's why I try to make my pages a positive space. And that's not to say that I never vent or that I never complain, because of course I do. I'm a human being, but the vast majority of what I post is going to be positive, whether it's workout related or sharing what my friends are up to. And I know I've told all of you this. I'm going to tell you again. If you have something going on and I haven't shared it, it's because it didn't wind up in my news feed and I didn't see it. So don't ever hesitate to message me and say, please share this. Like I want as many eyes as possible on your projects to support you in whatever you're doing. So never, ever, ever be afraid to reach out to me and say, I'm posting about this. Can you please share it? Because absolutely, I will share it 100%. And, try and get as many followers to help you guys as possible. Excuse me. My gosh, you know what it is? For dinner, I had tilapia and rice and broccoli. That's what it is. That's that's not a nice burp. So be glad this isn't smell-o-vision because I'm saving y'all from that. Lunar Project says we should be used to it, but people seem to be getting stupider. It's because, honestly, I heard a long time ago from my former boss that the easier the world becomes, the stupider people become. Because since we don't have to hunt and gather anymore, since, we don't even have to go to places to pay bills or order things or buy food, it's the lazier you become, the stupider you become. And it's not that we're consciously like, I'm lazy. It's because those opportunities are there. Like I am a total Amazon head, as much as I hate, supporting Jeff Bezos. I'm spoiled. And 99.9% of my Christmas shopping has been delivered to my door. And it's those things that when you don't have to make the conscious effort to do things, your brain goes smooth. And that's what's happening. And the scariest thing is the people that are driving and staring at screens at the same time. And that's what scares me. Like, I don't know how more people aren't killed all the time because of the amount of people that just aren't paying attention behind the wheel. And now that we're getting these self-driving cars, it's going to be even, because you're supposed to be in the driver's seat and still paying attention so that if it fails, you can kick it in. I've seen people on their computers while they're, in a Tesla, like completely not even paying attention. They're probably napping in the back seat, and it's just going to get crazier and crazier. So everybody buckle up and let's all look out for each other in any way that we can. So we can all come together and just talk about these morons that are out there because, man, some of it's frightening. But I'd like to think the majority of us are like those of us in here right now that, we have common sense and, we're, for the most part, intelligent, wonderful human beings. I make some stupid choices sometimes, but I think for the most part, I'm an intelligent human being. So that's all I'm asking is use your brains. That's all any of us can do. Lizzie says, I want one of those cars that can parallel park itself. I've seen those. I used to be so good at parallel parking. I worked in Northeast Philly. And, okay. Kyler says, I'm getting sleepy, might lark. Sorry if I pass out. No worries, sweetie. We've only got 5 minutes left, and I am so happy that you hopped on here. So if you do pass out, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And feel free to reach out to me on my social media. But thank you for always supporting the podcasts and all of us. I love you. So if you pass out, no worries. But Lizzie said, I want one of those cars that can parallel park itself. So when I worked in Northeast Philly, I had to parallel park. There were no lots. And I drove a conversion van at the time. So, I got really good at parallel parking. And I remember one day there was like only this one space that was just big enough for the van. And I pulled up and I just pulled it right into the space, and I get out and these two old guys across the street start howling and clapping. And they were like, I can't believe it was a girl. And I'm just like, but at least I got some kudos. So I was pretty impressed with that parking job too. But I haven't in decades, and I suck now. I'm a very sucky parallel parker now. I do the like, because inevitably someone will come up behind me and then I'm stressed. And then I know what to do, but then I get like all in my head because now somebody's watching, So that's one of those things. If I did it more often, I would still be a rock star at it. But skills come and go. When you don't use them, use it or lose it. So one of those would be very helpful if I was in a position where I was still parallel parking. Dave, my husband, he can park. Like, he's a phenomenal driver and parker and get out of crowded parking lots after eventers. So Lizzie said, I was able to do it once, and only because my driving instructor was walking me through the entire process. I will drive a mile and pay money to not have to parallel park. Yes. That is me now. And it's funny, when I took my driver's license test, technically, I probably shouldn't have passed because I did the 3-point turn in like 7.5 turns. I was like K turn, but it was a. But they were like, well, you didn't hit anything, so you pass. I'm like, okay, cool. But and I think at the end of the day, that's the important thing, is like you didn't hit anybody and you got the job done. So Luna Project says we have a 360 cam on Santa Fe, so it helps. That is awesome. Yeah, I have like the backup camera, but I don't have any more than that. And I try not to use that. I don't want to rely on that. But when I get home and I'm backing up the driveway, that helps so much with the dogs, because most of the time they're good and stay on either side of the truck. But then sometimes they're just like, boop, 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 and walk behind it. So that's very helpful, because then I can make sure to keep them safe. All right, so we've got 2 minutes left, so somebody give me a number. We'll do a pick a page real quick before we wrap this up for this season 2 finale. First one with the number wins 1 through 3 something. We'll say 300, because I can't remember if it's 313 or... Oh wait, you know what I have? 306. All right, so Lizzie came in first with 281 in the comments. So let's go with that. We've got, what did I say, 281? Back to the comments. Keith picked 25. And he put, what's better than 24? 25. But Lizzie got him by a hair with 281. So maybe contacts don't want to work. 281 is. We were convinced Mickey had been digging in while we were out of the room, but we couldn't prove it. And while I'm not a medical professional, the crust and bumps on Mickey's lips and mouth were enough to convince us that Mickey was not someone with whom either Marissa and I would want to share a spoon. This is quite the story, and I'm not going to share it. You have to read the book, because that, I can still see that chick's mouth. Oh, that was somebody that I worked with in the first place, the first club in which I danced, and some of the shenanigans that took place in the dressing room. That was the story about Mickey and the food. That's all I'm going to say. You have to read. You have to read the book. Like the old Time Life books commercials. Read the book. So, that's quite one to go out on. Mortimer says he wants to do the makeup of Jacob Marley from A Christmas Carol. That would be awesome. And Lizzie said, ew, sorry for bringing up that trauma, LOL. And Luna Project says, I remember that. Yup, absolutely. So if you haven't read the book yet, now is your chance to figure out, to learn about that story. You can get it at learningoko.com. And if you get a personalized copy, you'll get a signed personalized copy. You will get this super cool bookmark, and you get a free compilation playlist and free shipping if you're in the USA. So thank you all so much for hopping on here with me and for making season 2 so much fun. Like, I can't believe a year ago I didn't have a podcast. I was never on a podcast. And now I'm talking about the season finale of season 2 of my podcast. It's just so cool. And it's because of you guys always coming and supporting me. And I love you all and I appreciate all of you. So again, like I said, anything I can ever do to shout out what you are up to, if there's anything I can do to help, please reach out. I got your backs. I love you guys. And as always, when it comes to life and its troubles, you have to take them head on, because when you stick your head in the sand, you think you're hiding, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. Love ya.